How we doing, guys? Dan here from the Average Dan Show and Foster the People podcast. Today, Jonas and I are going to get serious about life's events and things that's going on. And by the way, we're live, so come join us. Give us a call if you got any questions, concerns, or you want to tell us all that. Maybe F off. We're here to talk to you. Jonas, what's happening today, buddy?
I'm looking forward to today's show. I really hope we get some good calls.
Oh, we should, man. We should. We
Yeah.
should. How you want to start this thing, man? Because, we got some pretty intense conversations.
I
earlier.
wish that cameras were rolling for the half hour before we started this show. If you guys could have heard the discussion that was going on 20 minutes ago before we started rolling, whoo!
Yeah, it was good. It was good. It was
It
good.
was
All right.
extremely good, and it was, in my opinion, it was the perfect example of what I'm talking about, what you're talking about being able to communicate with somebody.
Yeah.
There are hot button issues when me and you talk to each other.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah.
I feel it when your emotions get up.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'll set back and let you go through those emotions, and then try to retort in a way that is
Yeah.
it's fun.
But that's true with everybody.
Yes.
Think about it. Everybody has that little button that goes, oh, fuck you. Or everybody has that button that's like, oh, that's cool, man.
People
You
get
know?
defensive instantly.
Well, but you know what? It's today's society because it goes back to like what we have spoken about many times.
Mm-hmm.
People want to talk, but they don't want to listen. And
Well-
that's the problem in today's society. Or,
And I think-
or they're not educated enough to
Everybody
talk about
has that in them.
conversation. Yeah.
Every human being has that in them.
Right.
The capability to not listen and cut each other off and assume you know what someone's point is without fully hearing their point. Like it's that's those are always obstacles within all communication. So, all right, I know they're there. I accept that this person has that issue, and I have this issue also. Am I going to address it inside of myself? Am I going to make the adjustments inside of my next conversation where I decide, you know what, I'm going to listen more this time instead of talk as much?
Well, but see, that's the key word. And the problem is that most people don't subconsciously think that way.
I don't
not
know
going to
the
take
most.
that 1 or 2 seconds. I'm just saying, if someone would actually, if we were getting into a heated conversation,
Mm-hmm.
I would think most are just into the moment to keep it going. They're not going to step back for 1 or 2 seconds and go, ooh, slow down.
I've been that guy before.
Well, we've all been that.
Yes,
We've
exactly.
all been that. But, if
as
you
you
fine-tune it,
as you mature,
Right.
as you practice civil discourse more,
Yes, yes.
you become better and better at it. You don't have those emotional reactions and communication breakdowns because all of those communication breakdowns came from some misunderstanding.
But don't you go back to what we talked about? It goes back to the way we were grown up, where we had our own scar tissues, our own bad
Oh,
environments,
absolutely.
our own positive moments.
Yeah, but you have to take those as lessons. You can't, I'm this way because this happened to me as a child. It's like, yes, no, that is a part of who you are. And now you have the ability in the moment that you're actually experiencing to be the version of yourself that you pretend to be in your own mind.
Well, but let's be honest. How many people don't even know really who they are or what they're about or what their higher power is?
I mean, I don't think that anybody fully knows who they are.
No,
I think
no.
the whole process of life is the discovery of that.
Well, but that's what builds character, right?
100%.
Character is the key thing. We can either be negative characters or positive characters.
Absolutely.
And we all have the joint efforts of being both.
Exactly.
Okay, look at that dude that killed freaking Charlie Kirk. Do you think he's always Mr. Negative, just wants to kill people? No, he probably had a hell of a great thing, and all of a sudden somebody snapped on him.
Well, first off, I think that I do not, how do I say it's multi-layered. I do not believe that he's the person who actually stuck a bullet in the throat of Charlie Kirk. I believe that he was a kid who was mad at Charlie Kirk and would have loved to have killed Charlie Kirk. And so he was there attempting to do this possible thing, and then Charlie already got shot probably before the kid even got to the perch.
Well,
And then
I mean,
he goes running down the wall, and he's trying to get away, and supposedly he has a 30-06 in his backpack, and he runs back out into the woods, and then he reassembles it. What?
Yeah, there's a lot too much confusion.
Like
But-
so there's a big huge hole there that needs to be answered. If we're living in a transparent society, those questions that I just posed, which I don't know the answer to, should be presented to the public for public consumption, for us to be able to formulate our opinion based upon raw data, not the opinion of a talking head on television telling you how to feel about it.
Well, I give you that credit, but once again, like we talked about earlier on this, transparency is the key word. Okay?
And we need
the
to
problem
demand
is, if we get too transparent, as we did talk about, we get too selfish because we want it to relate to us. And then if it relates to us too much, then we have a mindset of being egotistical, thinking it's my way or the highway. And then what happens is we piss people off, and then that's when the attorneys get involved. We go, F you, we're going to sue you for $50, $60 million. And then what happens? This thing that becomes this big spiral effect that goes nowhere. And the bottom line here is it's because of not knowing how to communicate to the person correctly during the moment when the heat comes down. Okay? And we have too many judgment calls on each other.
Well, yeah, you have to be open-minded to listen.
But you said the key word, open-minded. We're not. The society is
I
not
am.
open-minded.
I am.
You are. We are, yes.
We're having
100%.
that. We're having that conversation right now.
100%.
And, you know, and if anybody wants to call in,
Yeah,
you
by
can
all
become
means.
part
Get
of this
involved in this.
open-minded conversation.
Yes.
You know,
We wanna hear
challenge
both
me on
sides.
something I said. Tell me I'm wrong about who killed Charlie Kirk. Because guess what? I'll start off admitting that I might be wrong. That this is just what my gut says to me based on the information that I've absorbed.
I just look at it like there's too many gray areas in today's society.
Yeah, mostly in
Okay.
the media. Because
And-
they're giving you the gray area.
Okay, but don't you think, once again, that goes down to corporate greed? It's like it's like
I
any,
mean, yes,
Well, okay,
if you're-
let's think about it, okay? You have a company. Okay, let's think, okay, one of the companies I have, A to Z Fire. My goal is to have my guys go out there, effectively go out there, give my customers 110% that customer service skill. But what happens is, that's in my head. I could preach it. I could try to beg you to do it. But you go out because you're a little tired, or maybe you got pissed off at your girlfriend last night and you're dragged in the day, or hey, you smoked a joint before you came to work this morning and your head's a little bit cloudy, so you don't meet those expectations that I tell. And there's no way in hell that a leader is going to be able to say, hey, you're going to do it exactly the same way I say every single day. And because of that, we always have the hiccups in communication skills. How many times have you asked your kid to do something and he did exactly the way you told him?
Never.
Exactly. Okay? So what I'm trying to get at is overall society, we have to be more flexible.
Well, we need to.
We have to focus on ourselves in a
Yes.
selfish way, sort of like, but not to the point where it's me.
No, but it's, you know what? There is some people would call it the godly way, and that is being selfish in a manner of self-improvement. Being selfish in the fact that, you know what, I'm going to work on making myself the best version of me today.
Well, you said the key word there, but let's be honest. I might be flatline. Going up making $30,000 a year, I'm freaking driving around a piece of shit, I'm paying rent. But that's me. That's where I want to be. So how can we say you need to be better than that? You need to
can't.
improve yourself. You need to do.
That is, if you're telling somebody else how they should be, that is you directly not being your best self.
Well, no, I understand.
Because
but I'm
your
saying
judgment of others
is wrong.
in
but-
itself is you insulting your own best self.
No, I give you that, but how many people do you know that you see that they got so much great potential, but because they're making bad choices, or they're not showing up to a certain event at a certain time, or just because they're laziness, because nobody said, hey, get off your fucking ass and become something.
Well, we haven't.
Too many people in society are accepted. Oh, let's just leave them for the way they are.
Well, we-
they don't bother nobody. But the problem is, if you really want this nation and this community to be positive, they've got to contribute to it.
Well, and you have to be the example.
You have to be an example, but you have to also contribute.
Well,
Too
yeah,
many
well,
people-
the thing is I do believe that the way that the structure is right now, it does seem like a humongous rat race that kids are inserting themselves into, and I understand why, as a 20-year-old, I would not want to get into this rat race because I know it's leading to nowhere. And you know how I know it? Because I'm literally watching how it's affecting my parents and watching everything go down. Like to deny that we are as a society in a downward spiral at bare minimum when it comes to financially and the cost of living versus the amount of money made, we got a call.
Let's see who it is. This is the Dan from the Average Dan Show. What's happening?
Morning, Dan.
Hey, how are you, sir?
I'm doing well. How are you guys today?
Hey, we're doing wonderful. What's on your mind, my friend?
Well, you were talking about people's potential. We see people out there and they're comfortable with their $30,000 job, or not comfortable, but how do we make them their better selves? Well, how do we do that?
Well, that's a great question. I'm glad you're doing that.
Positive side.
You want me to talk? You want Jonas to answer that question?
Well, how do we promote
Well,
responsibility and making ourselves better people?
I think that
How do we
each.
foster that?
Yeah, well, first off, it's a personal journey for every individual. It's never going to be the same for me that it is for you. It's not going to, But I think that most everybody I know has an idealized version of themselves inside of their mind that they want to be. This is who I want to be. And me, myself, I can only go from my own personal experience. I have a hard time because I feel like I've never really fully fulfilled my potential. This show actually feels more like me fulfilling my potential than probably anything else that I do.
Well, let me add something to what
So-
Jonas said, and I don't mean to interrupt you,
that's fine.
Jonas, but I look at it from this way, okay? The reason why I started Foster the People, because I had so many people just complaining about, oh, my life sucks. I can't pay my rent. I can't ever have no money. I can't pay the grocery bills. I can't do this. Well, why is that? You know why that is? It's because the mindset that they're stuck in, because they can't get ahead when they're just as smart, if not smarter than I am. The only difference between me and them is that I know that I have to improve at least 1% a day. I have to make changes.
But
I
you
have
you had to realize that that was the way that it worked for you.
Right.
And that's what I'm saying. Once you have that idealized image of yourself inside of your head, of this is who I want to be, and all of us are going to fall short of that at times. And you got to be careful and mindful of not falling into those negative spins that then stall you out and put you in that flat line
Well,
state
there
of
you
mind.
go. That's what we're saying. So does that make sense to you? I apologize. I didn't catch your name.
Yeah, my name's Keith.
Keith.
So how do we promote that? I mean, you guys are doing a great job. How do we reach out to people and say, hey, listen, talk about this. Where are you?
Well, I'll tell you what, I try my
Put yourself there.
for myself, I try to make sure that I implement it in all of my actions. And when I do fall off the wagon and fall into self-defeatist mode and feel like, man, I'm having no influence on anything whatsoever, what the heck am I doing with my life? You got to go back to the basics. I personally chose to live in Florida on the Gulf Coast because salt water has always worked for me.
Yeah.
So what I'll do is when I'm feeling like the whole entire rat race has just got me to a point where I don't know how the heck I'm finding the motivation to get up today, I'll take a ride to the beach and jump in the ocean, and I have.
Well, let me add to that, okay? I'm glad you brought that question up, Keith. And here's what I feel like, okay? Like I said, I've been self-employed since I was 20 years old. I'm 62 years old. I have met with hundreds of thousands of different people. I've consulted different companies. I have encouraged people. I've been screwed over. I can tell you of all the disadvantages, all the ups and downs and lows. And what I realized ultimately, in order to really get yourself into a better playing field, you got to just look in the mirror. And first of all, tell yourself, hey, I can make a change today. Think about there's people that probably sit on the couch most day long and they don't ever get any exercise. Even if you get up and you just say, okay, I'm going to go walk for 5 minutes today. That's an improvement. And then tomorrow we do 6 minutes and the next minute 7 minutes.
And it cascades.
And how many people, think of it from this perspective, sit on their phones? I was shocked when I was looking at my phone and I had an average report saying I was spending an average of 40 hours a week on my phone.
It's crazy.
And let's go back to the basics. We all have 1,440 minutes a day. We're supposed to get at least 8 hours of sleep. Hey, I don't. I average about 5 if I'm lucky, okay? But the rest of that time, I am finding ways to either learn about something, try to get involved in the community, try to meet new people. If I stay within my same group of people, then I'm never going to create a new environment. People go, well, how do I get into a different environment? Well, you have that tool. Instead of either scrolling up and down on your phone, looking
It's
at TikTok and Facebook and all this stuff, Why don't you think about, okay, finances, or think about gardening, or whatever you have a hobby on, and learn that.
So
Spend
what you're
5
saying-
minutes a day.
So what you're saying, from what I'm hearing, is the selfishness that was in part of the conversation is actually self-care.
Yes.
So you've learned to take responsibility for yourself.
Amen.
Care for yourself with different processes, and analyze yourself, and say, these processes are something that I fell into. I didn't choose them. I started spending too much time on the phone, and now I realize I need a different type of care. I need to care for myself a different way.
You are
So what you're
100%
saying is
correct.
So the responsibility that we should offer, or I feel like I need to offer to people, is to show them
Through example.
caring for myself is my first responsibility.
Yep.
And showing them how to care for themselves is my next responsibility.
You are 100% correct, my
That
friend.
is it. And I'll tell you what, that's exact. Thank you so much for the call, because that that summation that you just made of the conversation is absolutely beautiful, and that's what we're trying to do here, is get those dialogues going. And I'll take it more to like a tribal level. One of the things that I think is missing in society is community.
Oh, yeah.
And if you go to like Native American tribes and the way that they were set up, and when especially amongst men, the men went out together and they challenged each other every day. Like from the time they were boys to the times they were men's, they had the rite of passage to be able to take care of the women and the children that were back at the camp. You know what I mean? Like if we become the examples of how things can be better, and then it flowers out from us, and we can find tribe members. You know, I go to the beach by myself because I need the isolation, because my brain never stops.
Yeah.
So I have to reel it in.
Okay. Us men sometimes don't fall in the right path because
We've
we
lost
don't
our
know
role.
any better.
We have lost our role.
We need that godly role that tells us how to live our life. The drugs, alcohol, just negative thinking.
The trappings of current society.
Sex. It's just society. But the thing about it is, Keith, is that I believe in order for us to really be a successful community here,
Empowered community.
we got to empower each other, and we got to love each other. We got to, first of all, start out by loving ourselves. And most people go, oh, well, if I wouldn't have said this, or I shouldn't have said that, or if that person, we're always making blames. Take today as a new day. Like right this minute, stop what you're doing and go, I'm not going to live in the past. I'm going to take today for what it's worth, and I'm going to try to better myself 1% per day. When you start thinking about it, 1% becomes 2%, 2% becomes 4%, 4% becomes 8%, and it starts multiplying.
Yeah.
And before you know it,
And if you're doing it on a regular basis, like when I go to my local shop, like last week when I was doing the Hug Fest, it's like letting the people know that I'm on your team.
Exactly.
The way I like to say it is this: in my mind, my ideal sense of myself, and who I attempt to be, is I want to be the person that people know that if the shit hit the fan tomorrow, Jonas has a plan, and if we get to Jonas, we're gonna be cool.
well, Keith, let me say one more thing to you. And this is where a lot of people don't do this, okay? And I've just in the last 5 years got on it, and this is what's really personally changed my life. Before I do anything in the morning, I go out to my pool. Hey, you can go anywhere. You can sit in the toilet and do it. But you sit there and you say, thank you, good Lord, for having a roof over my head. Thank you for my wife. Thank you for my dogs. Thank you for this T-shirt. Thank you for whatever you are thankful for. And there's no right or wrong.
Well,
it's that sense of being gratitude and being grateful for what you have and how you can use it to benefit other people.
Well, yes.
Keith,
And I think that's a great start to a day, and I do very similar things. I want to thank you guys for your time, and have a blessed day.
Yeah.
I'll call back again.
Thank you so
Keith.
much,
Yeah,
Keith.
thank you, Keith. We really appreciate your call, brother. Be blessed and more power to you. We love you, man. Thanks, Keith.
All right, thanks. Bye, guys.
Like,
I love that, man. See, that's what I'm talking about. People like that are on the same page, man. And people are some of us don't know how to get to that page.
well, I think that like everything is a reflection of the society that you live in, and we can go back and forth about the reasons why the traditional male role became somehow a dirty thing to be in our current society. Like within certain sects of our society, they
Why?
believe
Because
that
of Charlie Sheen?
no.
I mean, you got these Dudley Do-Rights, you know?
Yeah,
I mean-
I believe that some of the things that went on in past generations, you know, kind of. I believe that the battle of the sexes has been promoted
Oh, yeah.
in television shows, in
Television
in,
shows.
da-
What's
you
in
know,
our media?
yeah.
I mean, look at the music. Come on, bang my sister, bang my mother, do whatever I can to get that honey.
The natural urge, I think, I talking personally, as a man to protect, guide, and build a safe and secure home for their family is something that burns inside of the belly of men, and it's a bit, and I believe that. It's been discarded in a lot of ways,
Well,
and
like I said,
it's not promoted anymore.
Okay, like we've talked about this. Broken families is one of the biggest impacts on today's society.
100%.
Okay, us men. Now let's listen up here, man. I am. You are. If you don't have, how can I say this? Not being disrespectful to anybody. If you don't understand that if you're going to have a child, you have to do your best to protect that child in every freaking given way till the day you've got to say goodbye to them. Okay? You can look up my story with my daughter. Okay? It was a tough road, and I had to make a lot of sacrifices to do what I had to do. But the thing about it is too many men are just saying, I'm out of here, and that's it. We got another one coming in here. This is Boss of the People podcast. How we doing today? Who's calling?
This is Dave Dallas. This is calling.
David, what's happening, big guy? How are you, sir?
Good. How are you doing, buddy?
Hey, man, I'm glad. It's been a long time no here. David used to be on our podcast, man.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he had to move away. Boss man, what's going on?
No, I was just listening in and wanted to chime in. And I think it's a great topic. Yeah, I mean the American family is really being stepped on, and you know I think men are going through some trying to figure out who they are, where they fit in. You know, because it's gotten to a point that we're kind of like a second-class citizen, and you know what's you know it's kind of going back to feminism for me, and you know you look around the world, we're the only country where I think that happens. I mean, I think culturally we have evolved to a point where, like I said before, women don't need men.
Yeah.
And when men don't feel needed, that's our number one need. Most women think our number one need is sex. We're providers.
Yeah, you're right. 100% right.
We step in. We want to step up and make sure our family's protected and that they can thrive at whatever they want to do. And I think you can see it. I'm African American. You see it within the African American community in a big way. You go back to the '60s where our families had 78% of the households had a man in it. Today, you have 78% of the African American homes is just a mom.
But why do you think that is, Dave? Why do you think that is? Because, like I said, we're all men. We all have needs, but like you said, we all expect our wives, our we want to call partners, to nurture us, to make us feel proud, and they have the sense sometimes to want to belittle us and take us down because we didn't meet their expectations.
Well,
okay, Jones, what do you think?
Well, the thing is it's a result of the exact battle of the sexes that we were talking about earlier. And I believe it was intentional by the same pyramid, top down structure of our society. I believe that government has inserted itself into the marriages of everybody. First off, you got to go to them for a license.
The family structure.
Yeah,
Yes.
and the reason why they did that, the reason why they destroyed the family structure is in order to breed dependency among the population. in order for government to maintain its existence, it must make the citizens and the population dependent upon it for their survival. So that
I mean, well, you look at the African American family. I mean, there are laws that have been put in place to really demonstrate what you're saying. So if a woman gets pregnant out of wedlock, has a child, and doesn't go with the guy, the state will step in and take care of her. She has another child, they'll pay for that child as long as it's not with the father, right? So
Right.
This all started, and it goes back to the Rockefellers. So
You're
feminism
right.
was created by the Rockefellers for this purpose. It
Yep.
was to generate more income. So now you have two families creating taxable income versus one.
That's so
The
true.
stay-at-home environment is different, and we've seen, the fall off of how our children's they've lost respect. They talk back. It's just they're kind of raising themselves, or they're put into an environment in a school where they're teaching them political things that are are not even should not be taught by the school. It should be handled by the family.
Amen there, Dave. And like I said, the other thing I was going to add to that was look at when we were growing up. I mean, I'm 62. Hell, when I got out of line, someone would crack me in the ass. I remember one time I got freaking 10 whacks and I could barely sit down. And to me, I didn't look at it as that being abusive. Now, it could be classified as that, but I look at it as today's, if you look at the kid the wrong way, they're going to say, oh, I'm going to show you. I'm going to get an attorney and take your ass out. So, I mean, we've come a long way in discipline and communication. And like we've always talked about, the key thing in society is a lack of effective communication skills.
Well, I think
just-
that's what evolved for me, because I don't exercise corporal punishment, is what I would call that on,
Yeah,
on my
that's-
son.
yeah,
I don't.
yeah.
I don't ever have to.
Right.
And I come at it from a much more like, how do you think that particular action affects everybody else around you?
True.
And have him take accountability for that action. And a lot of the times it'll pluck in his side.
Here's what I would say. I have two kids, and Dan knows them both. And at the end of the day, I think kids are individuals, and
Yep, they
some
are.
respond to how you handle that, and some kids, corporal punishment was done in a respectful, loving, and caring way.
Oh, absolutely.
For correction,
If
right?
you've done
So
correctly,
some
yeah.
kids-
Yeah.
Because if you think about how we learn in three ways, right? Visually, audibly, and kinesthetically.
And the hard way.
The kinesthetic is some kids, they get it if they feel it. Some kids get it if they hear it, right? Some people hear it if they say it. Like your kid's like, "Hey, Dad, you're right. I'm sorry." My kid would say, "Dude, like I would say, I'm just to my son Josh." And Dan goes, "Josh," he goes, "Josh, I'm disappointed with you." He goes, "Dad, I'm disappointed with you."
Yeah.
In our days, it would make you duck.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Well, I mean, okay, guys, let's throw the cards on the table. You guys both were talking about sons.
Uh-huh.
Now, Dave, I don't remember. Do you have a daughter?
You have a daughter, Sydney.
Okay, that's what I thought. All right. So don't you believe that their punishments relate to their sexes in a sense? Because I would never think about beating the crap out of my daughter, but it's like if it was my son, he got a lot. I mean, I wouldn't beat the crap out of him, but one or two times might do you some good. But like I said, I've had episodes where I've tried both ways, and none of them worked. All right, so my parenting skills suck, and like I said, and I'll be straight up to tell you that. All right, that's why I know some people that have 7 kids and they got freaking all kids come out great. I get one, and I can't even get the needle to go the right way, But the bottom line here is, I just believe that us men were, how can I say this, we're not as focused on being good, godly parents. We're focused on us, like we said
Well, that
earlier,
goes,
about
but that goes back to
selfish.
the last caller. So now here you are. You've recognized that you've said it. So now it's like, okay, I accept the fact that yesterday I was not the father that I wished I could be. So today I'm going to take the opportunity to be that father.
Exactly.
And
It's too
just-
late.
But no, it's not too late because every moment is the next moment. So you can
Yeah.
change right in that moment.
Exactly. That's what it is. And Dave, you know as well as I do. Change is
but
what.
part of it. Here's the other part, right? I would say this, right? The level of distractions that we have to really engage with our kids and spend time with them and really help guide and help them navigate through life is thwarted by social media,
Oh, yeah.
gaming,
Gaming, keyword.
And, right? And I think a lot of this came from a concept that I don't think our parents really had.
No.
I wanted my kids, the thing now is I want my kids to have a better life than I have.
Amen.
At the end of the day, I mean, sometimes we capitulate in areas in thinking we're helping them move in that direction without understanding the ramifications of how they act. I mean, sometimes kids need guidance. It's biblical, right? You spare the rod, you
Oh,
spoil
yeah.
the child.
Yep.
But you're not doing it to hurt them. You're doing it as a corrective measure. I went to Catholic schools, and dude, there was a deterrent. Like for me, jail was a deterrent. Never been in jail, never been in handcuffs unless I was with my wife. But at the end of the day, it was really some type of a deterrent for people to think twice before the actions that they were about to participate in.
Right.
I think they don't have that anymore.
Nah, there's no accountability.
But that's up to us. Isn't that then become up to us to figure out the ways to hold them accountable? Like there's nobody else to blame except for ourselves.
Well-
and if we're not holding our own selves to the same accountability level, how can we expect anybody else? And how do we expect to teach a child how to do it? It all comes down to the first caller again.
Yeah.
It all wraps back around to self-care.
It does,
And
self-care,
and if you
keyword.
take on an esoteric level, if you take the flower of life, sacred geometry, the flower of life, if I create
Love
this first sphere and I'm responsible for my sphere of influence and I inject in the world that I want to see in that sphere, all right? I create that for myself. And now, Dan, you're doing the same thing in your sphere. And Dave, you're doing the same thing in your sphere. And then all of a sudden we're intermingled. Boop,
Yep.
boop,
Yep.
boop. Now we have each other's back.
Yeah.
We have the ability as now 3 empowered men who communicate well to be able to go out and actually build something positive.
You're totally correct, but think about.
Can I step in there?
What?
I want you to think about another thing. The question is, so why is that? So look at the community of a neighborhood. When I was a kid, if I go over to Dan's house and I act up, I got my butt beat.
Yeah.
It takes a village.
Then Dan would call my mother, and I would get home and get my butt beat for getting my butt beat at somebody else's house.
Amen.
So, we don't have. It takes. So we've gone away from the concept.
Well, that's
of
respect.
village to-
Yeah, that's where we lost it. That's a key word there, Jonas, is respect. And you know that, Dave. Society doesn't know how to respect each other. We struggle with that.
Well,
And
we're too
I
busy,
think it-
but we're too busy judging one another. And if you, especially if you're a person who gets most of your information about society from television, it intentionally divides you by so many different categories, and you lump somebody because they said one thing. Then you assume that they think all these other things that are part of this group.
Well, but here's the
and
other
you,
thing.
and you don't take people on the individual level, and you need to take the time to understand the layers of every human being.
True, but don't you think it also goes down to the basics, common courtesy? If you don't have anything nice to
Here's the
say,
thing.
don't say anything at all.
I say to my kids, just be nice.
Yeah.
But what I was going to say, but finish up before, was that we don't. There's a saying. It takes a village
Yep.
to raise a child.
It really does.
Right, and I'll give you an example, and Dan will understand this because of what his wife does. And when we were kids, if we did something wrong at school, the parent would come to the school, and the teacher and the principal might be there. In that scenario, the kid was today. The kid is always right, and the teacher is always wrong.
Yep.
The parent, and when I was growing up, our parents would side with the teacher.
Oh yes.
Yeah, 1,000%.
Oh yeah. So when they walked in the door, it was, "What did you do wrong?" And I do that with Jacob. I said, "What did you do wrong? Why am I here right
And
now?"
that goes back to what you said, Dan, which is it's respect.
Yep.
Parents aren't respecting the system, and they think their kids can do no wrong. And that's where correction needs to be had in a community environment where we're all watchdogs of our children and seeing that, I'm taking care of Dan's kid, I'm going to take care of your kid. If they're around, I'm going to make sure they're safe. We don't have that. Everybody's afraid that that's not my problem.
Yeah,
You
that's-
can build that.
yeah.
Let me tell you, you can build and find communities where you can do that. Especially if you're an engaged parent, and it's really important.
But that's hard, man.
I am an engaged parent, and it's not hard at all. It's actually really, really fun.
Yeah.
I'm totally engaged in my son's community.
Yeah.
Whether it's at his sporting events, whether it's at his school, like I'm totally.
Well, there are a lot of parents.
If you,
but-
so the thing is you end up in if you make the effort, you could create family circles. Like, and I have 4 stepdaughters and my son.
Yeah.
And so I am a part of all these different parent circles, and they can be very, very healthy. They can also become toxic. You have to
Yeah.
be careful about that.
Well, that's
but that's
the key
all
word
about
there.
how you
How you-
manage it.
yeah.
And can you be the balance inside of the chaos and allow it all to balance itself out?
Yeah.
Or do you get wrapped up in the chaos and allow it to become a downward spiral? It's up to you.
Accountability.
It's up to you.
Accountability. Yeah. Dave,
Yeah.
buddy, man, it was great talking to you. Let's hook up real soon, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Call me today. I'll be around.
I will, buddy. Hey, give hugs and kisses to Judy for me, will you?
Nice meeting you,
Well,
Dave.
She's in Florida now.
You're right. You're right. She is. All right. You're right. She is. That's why Terry was telling me that. All right. Well, I'll have to say hello to her, man.
All right, guys.
I'll give you a shout later. Thanks for
Thank you.
calling in, Dave. We love you, man. Take care,
Thanks,
brother.
brother.
Yeah, bye-bye. Dave, man, he's a good friend. He was on the podcast here a while ago, man. He ended up moving back up north to Seattle, man. But
That's way up north.
yeah.
Way up north and way west. I've been there.
So Jonas, okay, we've had quite a few people call in today, man, and it all comes down to, I think, respect, being, what word do I want to look for?
Humble. Humility.
Humble or
Being able to step back and give somebody the platform to speak the thoughts that they have.
yeah. I mean, we should. Everybody should
It's
get
the
an
first.
opportunity.
In my opinion, it's the first act of love that you can have. When
Yeah.
I tattooed "Be Love" on my inside of my wrist,
Yeah.
one of the very first principles, like I actually wrote down, okay, and it was in the top 5 was if I'm being an expression of love and what I want to see in the world, the first thing I have to do is I have to listen, and
Yes.
listen with the intention of understanding. Where's that person coming from? What are they telling me about themselves?
Well, one thing I wanted to bring to your attention that we were all talking with Dave, and you were talking about the flower. The problem is, think about this. Okay, so you're a flower, I'm a flower, we're all in there.
A
All
sphere.
this-
You're a sphere, not a flower.
Well,
When you put the spheres together, it becomes
Yeah.
the shape of a flower.
But what I'm saying, let's just use it as a flower or a plant.
Mm-hmm.
We're plants, so we're growing, okay? You put you here, we're all here, we're all right beside her. All of a sudden now, our environment comes in where, wow, we got bugs over here, so someone's going to spray some bugs here. Or, God, next thing you know, we have a hurricane. Next thing you know, we got this dog coming up here running through the sides of us and stuff, all right?
Well,
so the
that-
environment is one of the things that's very conducive to how we grow. And the bottom line here is if we're not growing, in other words, we're just flatline, we're not trying to educate ourselves, go back to school. I think the key thing here is
Purpose. It's all about purpose.
Well, I don't think it's even
Because
purpose.
that becomes what compels you forward. Instead of the crisis being what compels you forward, walking in purpose inside of the crisis is the key. You
Well-
know what I mean? So no matter what happens
Right.
today, I know that this is the purpose I'm walking in. Something completely unexpected might happen.
Well, I mean-
and I'm going to try my best. If at my highest, most ideal self, I'm going to try to walk around as a living, breathing, feeling, interacting expression of love. Like, how would love interact with this situation? Or you say the old saying, not the old saying, like I've seen it tattooed on people, what would Jesus do?
Right.
So you think, okay, so what would Jesus do in this circumstance? Awesome. All right.
Well, the way
And-
the way I look at it ultimately, okay, is we have to encourage people out there to first of all be accountable for themselves, to have the love and the gratitude for themselves.
Absolutely.
Just be thankful for
For
what
the
you
breath.
got. Whether yesterday you were a convicted murderer, or you did something really bad. Today is a new day. I can't change yesterday.
No.
I can't do anything that happened 10 seconds ago. I can't change. So I have to go from this moment forward. How can I make me and Jonas, me and whoever, smile, enjoy ourselves, enjoy every moment? Because like I said, we're not getting out of here alive.
I'm enjoying this moment.
Yeah, that's it. You got to enjoy the moment for what it is. Accept it. And sometimes, hey, people, we're all guilty of put the damn phone down. Step away from the phone. Stop feeding your brain with all this different stuff.
And go
that
talk to
folks
your
don't
neighbor.
want.
And go, you know what? Challenge yourself today to go
Yeah,
talk to your
There's
neighbor.
a good thing. Let's do that.
You know what I mean?
We
Everybody,
start up a challenge
today,
Do something.
do
different.
something for one of your neighbors,
Yeah.
whoever it may be.
Like give them a flower, freaking bring them a cookie.
No,
just
talk
say
to them
hello
about, talk to them about real stuff.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to have a real conversation
Well,
with your
I
neighbors.
think that's one of our breaks.
Don't be afraid.
I mean, let's be honest. I look at my neighborhood. Most of my neighbor I'm at, they're more the elderly people because I live on the beach, and there's a few young people in there. But most of these little ladies, they don't want to talk. They won't even come to your door. You know what I'm saying? But it's like I try my best to get involved with the community. And like I said, my wife's the type where she doesn't mind helping people, but she doesn't like getting involved. Because she feels like once we get involved, now we have to participate. Now we have to answer all the
Well,
phone calls.
you
What
know-
are you doing today? Can you come over here and help me? Can you do that? I respect that.
I can totally
It goes
understand.
both
I can
ways.
totally understand that perspective.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
But I'm
100%.
like, I got one dear little lady friend that Josh knows her. And she needs a little bit of help. She lost her husband about 5 years ago, and she just wants somebody to talk to.
Of course.
All right? And the thing about it is like today, tomorrow, can you come over now? Can you, like,
Right.
And I understand. And my wife doesn't have that patience, I'm gonna tell her, okay, I'll be more than happy to talk to you for a little bit. I try to get them to invite them over for like dinner. Oh, wife's like, no, we ain't doing that. Invite the wife to bring a friend. Tell her to bring them a glass of wine. Or
Hey,
something.
no one's going to be. You're not going to be the perfect community neighbor. No,
No.
you just find your common ground with people. Let someone like I know my whole neighborhood, and everybody knows who the heck I
Yeah.
am.
Well,
and they
everybody
all
knows
and
you,
they
Jonas.
all know that if the shit hit the fan tomorrow,
Yeah.
I got your back, you got my back.
Yeah.
We're gonna be all. Oh, dude, you
know,
have
I-
that spirit.
Yeah,
you
you
walk
know,
with that spirit.
It's just the way it is. Let me ask you a question. What's your plan for the weekend next? I'm going to be going out of town.
You're
We're
going
gonna
to
be
the
doing-
boat races.
I'm going to the boat races.
I'll go to the
Saturday.
boat races.
Okay, and then Sunday, we got another game. Nobody ever got involved with us. Jonas, you went to the last game. Dude, that was a game. Let's
I
talk about
cannot
that.
go to this game with you.
No, you can't.
Because there's no way that I'm not wearing an Eagles outfit to the game. And yes, listen,
No, but come on. We posted it last time. We said, hey, anybody wants to get involved? I haven't heard any jump on the board ride. So
Well, what do you want to do? Do you want to do something with it? Hey, how about the next caller that calls in goes to the game with you? But you have to be a Tampa Bay fan.
You got to be a
Listen,
Tampa Bay
ladies
fan.
and
All right,
gentlemen, boys
here's
and girls,
motivation.
children of all ages, if you want to go to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers Philadelphia Eagles game this weekend with Dan and his wife, call in. The next person that calls in
We
gets
get
tickets.
2 days. We got club seats. We get all the benefits of eating. You ain't gonna pay that money. We'll even pick you up. We'll have to meet us here at the studios here, but we'll pick you up. We'll drive over and bring you back. So first caller, let's do it, man. I'm waiting
Oh,
for you.
well.
Let's give them a timeline too, man, because it's almost 11. So
We got to be wrapping up soon.
about 10, 15 minutes we got, man. So
All
you
right.
got 10 minutes to call us in here, guys.
That sounds good.
All right, so let's talk about the story that I had. This just happened to me the other day.
Let me hear it.
I don't know if any of you have ever experienced this, but I had a little bit of pain in my mouth. I said, well, let me go to the dentist. The dentist said, well, I had a crown that needed a little bit adjustment, right? Okay, no big deal. 2 days later, man, all of a sudden I felt like someone shot me in the mouth, all right? Come to find out, I had cracked a tooth. And then I guess just in a matter of 2-3 days, it was getting infected. The pain was so severe, dude. I've had kidney stones. I've had backaches. I've never given birth. But I tell you what, it kept me all night light. And then the other night at 1 o'clock in the morning, it used to just like come for a little bit. From 1 o'clock in the morning, it just continually. I was ready to just put the thing on. I was ready to call it.
There's nothing worse.
Needless to say,
mouth pain, tooth pain is the worst.
Well, I was blessed enough to get this orthodontic or endodontic, or whatever you want to call them, to actually do the root canal on me. And dude, I'm the type of person, I hate people getting in my face and stuff. Well, they had to put a couple injections on me. I think they put a couple extra injections in it. I just sat back there for like an hour. They put this plastic thing on your face, a splash guard or something. I'm like, dude, you get something on my face, I will freak out. All right, I'm a pansy, all right? So they must have juiced me up good, but the whole time I was like, oh, this is great. No problem. So now I got to go down and do the experience of them capping it tomorrow.
Yeah.
So I'm just worried about what's going to be like when I go up north, because, we're doing that journey up to North Carolina to go find another office. And then, so we're going to be up there for like 3 weeks.
Gotcha.
So, like I said, this weekend, guys, boat races, got to check it out if you've never seen it, man. It's right here at Clearwater Beach. Probably going to head out there.
You're going to do Saturday. What time?
I'm going to say between like 9 and 10, because I think the races start about
You want to get
9
there
o'clock.
early?
Yes,
because
you want to get up there, so you're going to park, and so you can get up there and see, because if not, you'll be sitting way back, or not even sitting, you're standing way back, because you want to get on that pier.
Right. If you can get out on the end of the pier.
Yes, that's it. You got to get up there before everybody
dude, I'm
else.
going fishing
And
tomorrow.
those are
I'll
just
be
going
fishing
fly.
there tomorrow morning.
All right, there you go.
Before anybody gets there.
Well, you're tomorrow, and then Saturdays and then Sundays. We normally leave on Sunday, but because of the game,
Yeah.
we're gonna go out there. But yeah.
Yeah, no. That's
So what do you think, man? What do you got to add for the two guys? What can we?
I think that on the way in, when I did my promo for this particular show, I said, let's show some examples of how people can communicate in a productive way.
You're right.
And I think that both of our phone callers showed perfect examples of that.
Oh, it's amazing. It really was, dude. And
Yeah,
especially
I
Keith.
loved it. I hope more and more people call in, and you know what? We still got a couple minutes. Somebody might be able to get some tickets.
Wow,
Otherwise, we're going to start making phone calls to friends and family. Hell, friends and family.
We could do a shout out.
Hey, listen. If you're a friend or family member and you get your ass down to Florida, because a lot of my friends and family are up in Pennsylvania. Even my friends are from Pennsylvania. If you want to fly down here and go to the Eagles Tampa Bay game, call me right now. I dare you. I dare you.
We'll make it happen. We'll make it happen. Come on, guys. We got 5 minutes. So, Jonas, one thing I have learned since the time we've been together, man, is that I've always been humble enough to say that I'm really proud of you for the way that you communicate to our audience. And you're like me. We're just trying to preach to them to live themselves a little bit better than what they did yesterday.
I think your message and my message combine so beautifully. And like I said, I feel most like I am following my purpose when I'm doing this show with you. I feel like I'm walking, talking, and acting in my highest purpose on this show.
Yeah, well, I mean, it shows, man. I said, we're going to have to get back out the street, because remember when that one time we did the street thing? That was pretty damn good, man.
I'd be down for hitting the street. I'll be down for doing like a little tiny, just like maybe like a 5-minute video from the boat races on Sunday.
We could do that, man. We'll do a presentation of some
I'll
sort.
at least do like personal posts.
All right, well, yeah, we got to definitely do something.
All right.
All right,
Everybody.
guys. Hey, guys. We're going to sign out to you, man. We gave you guys an opportunity to get those tickets, so we're going to have to do something else. But hey, once again, The Average Dan Show. Jonas, Dan here. Guys, stay safe, stay humble. Most of all, do something a little bit every day to better yourself. All right?